What's up, mi gente? Welcome back. Today's video, we're going to be talking about Ear Pro. What should you choose? Should you go Gucci? Should you go high end? Let's talk about it. Before we got to get into that, I just want to say thank you for all the comments, all the support. I really appreciate it. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. I'm trying to grow the channel, and hit that notification so you get notified of videos. And thank you for all the support because the channel has been growing. So I appreciate all you guys. Let's talk about it. So I get this question a lot from students, other people, and it's not always just people that have just started shooting, like what Ear Pro should I get. It's people that have been shooting for a while, and they've had simple Ear Pro. Should they upgrade? All that. So I have a few options, and we'll talk about all these. So Ear Pro a little different from eye pro or your glasses that you're wearing, because a lot of guys will use their sunglasses. They're fine with that. A lot of guys will just get a $5 pair of safety glasses, and it's clear, it's protecting your eyes. You could see, not a big deal. With ear protection, it's a little different. One, you want to protect your ears. I could tell you from many years of being on the range, doing this for many years, my hearing has suffered because of that. And there's times where I shot with no ear protection. I don't suggest doing that. This is something that we did in the department to get acclimated to shooting, and we did that in various training, ERT stuff, and all that. So definitely use Ear Pro. The difference is going to be, one, the level of Ear Pro that you get, whether it's electronic or not, meaning the electronic Ear Pro muffles the loudness but also amplifies sound. So really great if you're going to take a class of instruction. You could hear the instructor talk back and forth without saying, what, huh, what you say, like being loud. And when you go to the shooting, well, it muffles that, and you can control the volume. If it's maybe you're shooting indoors and you're shooting next to a guy with an AR, that's going to be loud. You could adjust it down. So those are the things. Now, you could go budget and get the foamy style, right? The foamies are just the ones you put in your ear. I'm not a big fan of those. One, they never fit in my ear right. Sometimes they loosen out and you could still hear, but I just don't like something in my ear, and it's hard to hear, especially being an instructor. I need to communicate, so that's a no-go for me. But you could use that, or simple style ear protection like this. These are just ear muffs. They're Sig Sauer branded, but they're just basically, muffs, that you would wear. So they, keep the noise down, but again, it's non-electronic. You can't adjust it, and you can't hear kind of what's going on. It's just going to be muffled. So not a bad option, but I would definitely suggest going to an electronic style. If you're going to be in the sport, shooting, training, and all that, an electronic style is definitely worth doing that. Now, there's levels of that, and I'll talk about budget versus high end, kind of we get into that. So these are Impact Sports. Everybody knows these. They're kind of like the Howard Lights. They were kind of like the kind of the first on the scene electronic that was budget minded. I mean, you could get these for $60, $50. They work. A little knob on the side here, you turn them on. You can adjust the hearing. They're electronic, so you hear, and it muffles it. One thing that I could tell you for sure, if you choose this route, is upgrade to these gel cups. They're about $20. It really is more comfortable in your ear, and gives you less pressure, and kind of you get headache from that, and it also just gives you a better seal, so you don't hear the outside loud noises. So I would definitely upgrade to the gel cups if you're using this. This is just like a upgraded sweatband over it. Just makes it a little more comfortable when you're wearing these for a long time. The thing that happens with these is, if you're wearing them all day, they do, just because of the way they're a little lower and more budget, they do sometimes give you a headache. They don't completely fit over your ears perfectly. There is some gap, there is some adjustment, but a lot of guys use this. This is like a staple. So if you're just getting into electronic hearing and you say, I don't want to spend a lot, Carlos, this is my budget, Howard Lights, Impact Sports, or Walkers are the way to go. This is an Impact Pro from Howard Light, right? They're big. They kind of tout that they give you better decibel hearing. I'll be honest, these are about $100, and I would not spend the money on these. I would get the Impact Sports, with gel cups over these big guys. They really never at there's the battery compartment. They never really added more than these Howard than the Impact Sports, and I don't think they were worth more money. I would suggest using your money and upgrading your gel cups and getting a better headband, more comfortable if you're gonna stay with that that kind of budget minded ear pro over getting a budget high end is what I'm trying to say. So I would go this route over this route. Okay. Now we're going high end over the Impact Sports, the Walkers and stuff like that. You're moving into like Peltors. These are Sordins, things of that nature. Ott Gear makes one, the noise barriers, I believe they're called. So I could tell you, one, these comes with gel cups already. They're shaped a little different. The way they clamp on is just better. They really give you great suction, super comfortable. These I wear all day. Now they're gonna be almost 6 times the price of these. These are going to be about $300 and that's kind of on the entry level side. These go all the way up to $700 if you get them with comms and all that. But again, that's something different. If you're just talking about um, hearing protection, you don't have to get mil spec Peltors or Sordins with comms and all that. You could just get these are the Supreme Pro X. They're like for hunting, tactical. Now what these do, they're electronic like the Howard Lights, but their sound quality on this versus that is day and night. Once you put these on, number one, when you put them on, you feel them right away. They completely suck in. It's like closing the door of like a luxury car opposed to like a Honda. You hear the sound. It's like sucks in. It's like and you hear no noise. These are great. They have really good adjustable volume for the amplification of sound. A lot of guys wear these hunting because it amplifies the sound so much you could hear deer, walking and all that. So they're used widely in all types of, things like that, not just for shooting. Guys use them for hunting and whatnot. They do come with a headband, but I upgraded it. This is just a flatline Fiberco, like this one shot, just gives you more padding and some Velcro if you want to attach pouches. But if you want to be serious about hearing protection, you're going to be shooting, I would get a pair of Sordins or Peltors. They are really, really worth it. The sound quality, the way they also lower the decibels. I don't care what Howard Light puts out there as far as numbers. These are going to be legit. It's kind of like that buy one, cry once, buy once. But this is something that's protecting your ears. And if you're going to be doing this, shooting, going to classes, you're investing money, it's worth getting this style of ear protection. So I'm a big proponent for Sordins. I think they are well priced. You could get some budget, high end, like I said, like these Supreme Pro X's, and I think there might be a level under this that's just about under $300. But you're gonna be in about that $300 range, $300 to $400 for a good pair of Sordins. Well worth it. They do have a comms jack here, 3.5 mil. So if you do want to use comms, the battery is also easy to change. It's you just unscrew here and put the battery in, opposed to not that these guys aren't, but what I have had is this. This is like a clamshell that you open up. It's just plastic. These break a lot, and then you have to see a lot of guys taping them because their battery compartment kind of screws up. So again, just a high end version of these and more comfortable. So definitely worth it. Now another option which is newer to the game is earbud styles. These are the Axel Pros. So it's just like a earbud setup. They come in a charging case. They come with different different earplugs, and they are Bluetooth as well. So they go in like this. You can hear music. You can take phone calls. They amplify and muffle. Now, why would you choose these over, let's say, a like a Sordin style? Is really why I have these, and I just invested in these recently. I don't like earbuds in my ear all the time because they never fit in my ear perfectly. But what I do like about these is I use them for competition shooting, like a tactical games, things like that nature. Because if you know when you're wearing a headset like this, it's sometimes hard to get a nice cheek well with your rifle and whatnot. So these get out of the way. You don't even, they're not in the way at all. So it's really about, comfort for you. Like if you don't like wearing a headband, you don't want to wear that, you feel uncomfortable, you could go this route. I mean, these guys were about $200, I believe, and they run sales a lot. So they're up there. You just have to charge them, but they do the same job as these as far as quality of sound. What do I think is better? 100% Swordens. When you wear Swordens or high end like these, like Peltors, you'll know right off the bat just the way they amplify the noise, the clarity. You don't hear that crackle or nothing like that. It's very, very high end, and they muffle. These are very good as well, but you could just tell the difference. But if listening to music is important to you, or picking up phone calls while you're at the range, for my instructors, right, that might be important for you, this is a great option as well. There's other companies that do these. Axel, or is kind of like the well-known. um, Gear has these as well. They're pricey. They're like 500. I think they're the noise barriers or something like that. I heard those are really good. I don't like wearing earbuds that much. I use these for just a reason: when I'm competition shooting tactical games. That's why I got these. Most of the time I'm wearing a headset. So that's why I didn't want to, invest in like a super high end. If you're a bud style guy and you're like, hey, I want really high end earbud style, check out those Gear ones. I heard they're phenomenal. But for me, these were sufficient. Great price. You just have to keep them charged and whatnot, but they come in a little case with a charging cable, different ear cups for different ears, different ear sizes and all that. Comes in a nice little case. Definitely worth it. So that's a newer version. Now it really just depends on what works for you. Like I said, some guys just don't like wearing a headband. They get headaches from it and whatnot. I understand. And there's ways to combat that with, more padding, like getting one of these wraps and upgrading to gel cups if you don't have them. But they're going to come on any high end ear pro that you get, Peltors and all that. Sometimes they even come with an upgraded headband, but they come with gel cups, etc. So that's really your choices. I suggest you do spend some money in the ear pro. It's something important. It's your ears. You need them to hear and listen. And two, if you're gonna be going to classes and you're spending money on training and you want to train, even if you're training out there with your buddies, you guys can talk without having to open it up. Hey, what you say? What etc. So that's pretty much it, guys. As far as my suggestions is Swordens. I don't have much time with like the Gear ones, even though I suggested those. I just heard they're really great. I can just steer you to what I've used. So Swordens for a headset, and if you want a bud style, check out the Axel for the high. If you don't mind spending the coin for the high budget, the Gucci. If you're looking for the budget, no problem. I started off just like this. I've had this set for many years, and I have a few of these. I have them everywhere because I just had them. And my wife uses these. She doesn't shoot as much as me, so I'm a very, very good ear protection. But get the Impact Sports. No need to get the Pros. Don't waste the money on these. Not worth it. Get the Impact Sports. Just add gel cups to it for sure, and a good headband, and you'll have a solid piece of ear pro. All right, guys. Hope that helped. If you have any questions on ear pro or things about them, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you use. Let me know for you Gear out there. Let me know how good they are, because I've gotten those suggested a lot. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Be safe.